In this video we're going to be taking a look at the 150-600mm f5-6.3 DJi Sports Super Zoom lens from Sigma. Now straight out the box you get your usual pamphlets and leaflets and a really high quality padded bag, which is really nice to see from Sigma. We also get a padded lens cover as well as a lens cap and of course the hood to the lens. Now the price of this lens at the time of making this video is £1,300 UK, but that's enough whiffle waffle. Let's head on out with it and see what this lens is capable of. So it's nice and early and we head off to Woburn Estate, which has wild deers running around within its boundaries. And as soon as I enter the estate, approximately 200 metres in the distance is a herd of deer just coming round from sleeping, and this gives me the perfect opportunity to get some photos. And my first impressions was, wow, it focused extremely fast onto the subjects. This little chap here even decided to give us a pose and stick his tongue out for us. Now on this lens we also get 4 switches on the neck of the lens. The first one is autofocus mode or manual focus mode. The second one is a focus limiter. Third one down is our stabilization. And the bottom one is the custom button switch. And on this particular lens we get 3 customizable buttons. But let's keep walking around Woburn Estate now, finding out how well this lens really performs. Now this lens is the Sony E-mount version, but it also comes in the L-mount version also. The Sony E-mount with animal subject detection on, the lens focuses extremely quickly straight onto the deers with no problems at all. Now this lens comes in at a weight of 2.1 kilograms, which is heavy, but in the ballpark for other 600mm super zoom lenses. To give you an idea of how heavy this lens is, it's roughly the same as a 2-litre bottle of Coca-Cola. So imagine that on the front of your camera. You're looking at a rig setup of about 3 kilograms. If you're going to be doing any extended periods of photography, I recommend using a monopod with this lens. But so far, everything with this lens has impressed me. The build quality and the way it focuses has been top notch. Let's move away though from Woburn Estate and see what else we can capture. Now with this lens you get a tripod collar mount already attached, and that comes with an Arc and Swiss mount included. It also makes it very easy to rotate the camera from landscape to portrait mode in seconds. Well, it's one thing capturing stationary deers with this lens, but what about things that are travelling fast, say over 100 miles an hour? Let's go find out. And once again with the Sony E-mount focusing system, this lens stuck onto the subject like to a blanket. It held onto the planes, no problems at all, and never missed focus. Very, very impressive. But let me know your thoughts about the quality of the images coming from this camera lens combo in the comment section below. Now I have heard from other reviewers of this lens that the focus system isn't as quick as some of the other lenses out there, but what I think is happening is they're not setting their focus limiter correctly. Set this correctly to either subjects closer than 10 meters or further than 10 meters and you're going to have super fast focus. Now halfway down this lens we have a switch that changes the resistance of the zoom speed. We have 3 settings: smooth, tight and locked. In smooth mode the zoom ring turns very easily, and you can also extend the barrel of the zoom ring by pulling on this special grip. In tight mode it is a little bit tight for my liking. I don't think I'll be using tight that much, it just feels overly tight. And then the final mode we have is locked, which is self-explanatory. Now if you're using the smooth setting on the lens, unfortunately it extends automatically without you having to adjust the zoom ring or pull on the grip at the front of the lens, which is a little bit disappointing, especially if you've forgotten to lock the lens off. You'll be walking around and it'll be extending itself, which can lead to damage. Luckily in tight mode and lock mode this doesn't happen. Now the minimum focus distance of this lens is 58 centimeters at 150mm. Now this is ridiculously close for a super zoom lens. Put that into perspective, the lens itself measures 35 centimeters with the hood on. So your subject only has to be 23 centimeters away from the front of this lens, which is just mind-boggling. Now to give you some idea of the zoom range on this lens, let me give you a video clip now, extended from 150mm all the way to 600. Now at 150mm, this lens measures 35 centimeters, and extended all the way out to 600mm, it measures 45 centimeters. Now we have two stabilization modes, mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 1 is a general stabilization mode, and number 2 is for panning only stabilization. So let's head off to a train station now, where I hear the Flying Scotsman is about to pass through. What we'll do, we'll stick it in stabilization mode 2 for panning and see how well it gets on. And yes, I did forget to press record on my action camera, so I've had to borrow the footage from a friend. But let's see how the images come out. And just like before, the focusing system had no problems latching onto the subject and keeping hold of it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And even though the train didn't stop at the station, the stabilization done such an amazing job of making sure all the images were sharp, even though the camera and lens was panning pretty fast, trying to keep up with the subject. So yeah, I couldn't ask for any more from this lens and camera combo. In fact, the downside to it was me not being able to zoom in and out quickly enough to keep up with the train. But let me know in the comments what you think to it. So I have one more final test for this lens, and that is to take it to an air show. Now unfortunately I didn't get tickets for the air show, so I would be positioned approximately 1 mile away from the air show. And this is really going to test out the lens, seeing if it really can capture some decent images. Now if you look really closely at this video footage, them little black dots are not flies, they're actually the planes that I'm going to be trying to capture. Now luckily enough, the planes would have to fly within 500 meters of myself before they had to land. This gave me the perfect opportunity to try to capture some photographs. And once again, the camera and lens combination didn't let me down at all. Focusing was fast, quick, hitting on the subject, and once it locked on, it wouldn't let go. It really was impressive. And that leads me nicely on to the conclusion of what I think to this lens. Let me know also in the comments though what you think to the image quality from it. So when it comes to this lens, I highly rate it. I like my equipment just to work, and that's what this lens does. It works. There's no faffing about with it. There's no worries about whether the focus is going to hit or miss. And for the price, it's very competitive, even though I think all camera lenses are overpriced in my opinion. So if you're on the market for a new super zoom lens, definitely check out the Sigma 150-600mm. You can't go wrong with it. Now I would just like to say that this video isn't sponsored by Sigma and the lens was purchased by myself. But thank you everybody for watching this video. If you got something from it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see further videos from myself, hit that subscribe button. But for now that's it, we'll catch up in the next video. Thank you very much for watching everyone.